Hi, Shaz.
Hello,
Hi, Shaz.
hello. How are we? How are we?
You can
Good evening,
all good.
everybody. I know that I'm about 3 minutes late, or maybe like a minute or 2 minutes late. And I know that this is crazy times, but we're here again for yet another episode of Wine Shine Quarantine. And today I have the Wine King himself with me. Ashish, say hello to everybody.
Hey, happy quarantine days.
So Ashish has been the guy who taught me all about wines, and I'm now calling the show Wine Shine Quarantine. But the fact of the matter is that we're all going through these insane, crazy times, which we had never imagined in our lives. We thought that we could just get up and say, "Hey, I don't feel like cooking tonight. Let's just go to a restaurant. Let's grab a bite. Let's call the family as well." We never thought about it. It was just like a way of life. But things just changed overnight. Forget the fact that we can go to a restaurant. We can't even sit at home with all our friends and say, let's celebrate. In fact, today is my husband's birthday and we're just stuck in these circumstances. There's only so much we can do. I wanted to chat today with Ashish to understand, and everybody believes we are getting from to the new normal or the near normal almost now. I want to understand from Ashish, where are we going forward from here? Ashish, what do we do? We want to come dine. What do we do? Help us.
Shaz, happy birthday to the hubby. And listen, first empty out the home bar. Luckily, the bars outside the wholesale liquor shops are open, so there are reasons to celebrate for the small mercies. But on a more serious note, I think the whole industry is completely going to change, no doubt. There will be the first point of concern for anyone will be assurance that the spaces that they visit will be hygienic and safe, and protocols will be in place for people to ensure that it's a virus-free environment. So I think restaurants and bars world over are working very, very seriously to figure out the protocols to ensure not just the guest safety but also employee safety, and make sure that the initial trust factor is set at very high levels of standards, and
Yeah.
then maintained obviously over a period of time. So the first priority is to win back the trust and win back the sense of security of coming to a safe environment. I think that's the first thing.
True.
That said, at the end of the day, restaurants are the best 60-minute vacation. I mean, with the lockdown and with international travel and local travel being a hassle, where are you going to go? I mean, why not go let your hair down and party, or celebrate in a restaurant? So I think restaurants are all about a soul. Restaurants are about feeling great. Restaurants are about that vacation, and I think that's never going to go away. We're not talking about delivery.
No, so Ashish, I appreciate what you're saying, and I love your positive energy, and that's the guy you've always been. In fact, I think for all of you, I haven't even given an introduction about Ashish, but you all know the fancy restaurants which you all party at. They're like the go-to for everybody, which is Whiskey Samba, Wine Company, the Antares in Goa, the Wine Rack at Mumbai, and many more that Ashish is invested in. So he's pretty much the guy who can speak about the story. So I understand what you're saying, Ashish, and thanks for keeping us so positive. But the fact of the matter is that. Everybody doesn't think like you and me. So there's a certain percentage of population which is not ready to do this, which is also affecting the industry, the hospitality industry as a whole. What is your perspective? What is it that you would say to them to feel confident that they can come to a restaurant and not have to go back thinking, oh my God, I might die tomorrow? So help us there.
Yeah. Shell, I think that's a great question. Um, I think the real answer to that is that the hospitality business as a whole thrives on ensuring that guests leave with a smile. And it's not just one time guests. Our business is about repeats, it's about knowing what your regular drinks or eats every time they come. So you can imagine that the staff is just waiting to come back to work. The ecosystem is working really hard to figure out how do we ensure the safety at every touch point. And there's a lot of technology, there's a lot of work at play. So Digital thermometers is just the start point, but there's ultraviolet light scanning cutlery. There are disinfectant sprays that work on tabletops for up to 12 hours. There are hand washes that will tell you whether you've sanitized your hands and they're virus free or not. So there's a ton of technology that's genuinely going to be at play in restaurants to ensure that the repeat guest keeps coming back and the new ones are brave enough and find comfort in the fact that people are dining there without problems. So be rest assured, their hygiene standards, restaurants are going to be rated on hygiene. Just like they were rated on guest experience or on service quality, food quality. I think there's going to be a huge rating on hygiene, which is really important. That's going to come ahead. But the romance of dining in a restaurant, the candlelight, the ambience, trying out new dishes or new alcohol that you've heard about. I think that romance is here to stay. It'll never go away, and I think we all are looking forward to it after so many months of introspection. I think I'm. And then there's a. Can you just ask Shells if the network's gone because it's come back up. No, it's not working. It'll take 2 seconds. It's just come back in here. It's, I can see the Geo coming also. Quickly. Is it on? Off? No, it's come back up right now. Because of the. Yeah. He switched it off, by the way. Huh? Did it so you can get a drink? Yeah. We knew your connection will go off there. Otherwise, you would see big pants, shots coming behind you.
Sorry, everybody. You know that there's a storm outside, and these are the issues that we all tend to have with um, the internet. We're all trying to work from home, but we can't help the internet issues because we're all surviving on Wi-Fi and internet, and that's our life now. So apologies for what happened, but there is a storm outside, which is beautiful because we have great weather. Sitting at home, get the chai and the pakoras or the vodka or the wine. The party continues. Ashish, we're back. Sorry, technical snag, as they say, and we can't be together doing this interview. So apologies for that. Ashish, you were talking about the fact that the hygiene standards are going to be higher, and things are going to change. But how long do you anticipate? Now we're all speculating, so I know that you will speculate as well. But what do you think? How long do you think we have to live without you guys, without the restaurants?
Shells, I'll come to the problems first, and then we'll discuss all the positives in life because you're the most positive person. So we have to end on a positive note. But so as not to make things frivolous, there's no question that it's a very, very difficult time because there are regulatory issues. Restaurants are places where there's social gatherings. So we will pretty much be one of the last places to open up. After that, there are hassles of, um, the migrant workforce coming back. We've all got employees all over the world, not just all over India, but genuinely all over the world because we've got international employees. So how do we really, in Antara's, one of my partners is Sarah Todd, who's a MasterChef Australia girl, and she's stuck in Melbourne right now. So how do we get people from across India and across the world back in the restaurants? It's going to be a challenge. Global supply chain is going to be a big, big challenge. I don't know how long it'll take for burrata from Italy and calamata olives from Spain to really get back on the menus. Um, these things are going to be a challenge. So be prepared for some patience around this factor. But at the end of the day, the entrepreneurship spirit of restaurateurs is so incredible. They'll find a local way to evolve. So they'll find a solution that satisfies and thrives with the new ecosystem. And that's because dining out is the social fabric of a city, and it can never lose that fabric. So I'm sure it'll take time. I'm sure it'll be different from what it was, but will it be cool in a new way? Will it be nice in a new way? I'm sure it will.
Ashish, how many people do you think are going to survive this scenario? So it's not about the fact that I know there's a lot of people that will come back and there will be a new normal and we will have the hygiene standards, we will maintain the social distancing, maybe the hugging and kissing is going to be out of the window. But how many of the people, because there's a long period to survive this, how many of them will be able to survive and not find alternate professions? How many do you think will
Yeah,
survive?
that's a sad statistic. Some estimates say that 50% of restaurants will shut down. Some estimates say that at least optimistic estimates assume that 20% will shut down. But in my view, it all depends on the stimulus. We still don't have clarity on the stimulus. I was talking to friends who have restaurants in Milan, and a majority of staff salaries are being paid by the government. There's a lot of stimulus in terms of soft loans basis, the last income tax paid by restaurants from the government. I think it's a lot dependent on steps that the government will take, because the restaurant industry is very fragmented. There are very few chains. A
Yeah.
lot of them are independent restaurateurs. There's very little outside capital or structured capital, so it requires help to bounce back. And these are high fixed cost businesses. So rentals need to be rationalized. Landlords need to come in and be party to the equation. But it will take a heavy toll. There's no question. In my
Do you
view,
think you have support from the government of India to because I know your restaurants are all in amazing places, and I know the kind of rental that you must be paying to even hold on to those locations. Um, do you think you're getting any support at all? Do you think the other restaurateurs are getting support? Is there a support system that you all are working with?
I think shall see. I think as an entrepreneur, you got to be super optimistic. Right now, although the stimulus hasn't been completely spelled out right now, I think it's very important to know that the larger structured landlords are supporting us and should support us. And I think that's got to do with the fact that everyone recognizes the value of the ecosystem being together during the tough times. I think it's a lot to do with the private ecosystem. The government is absolutely critical. They have the ecosystem. So fingers crossed.
Okay, awesome. Ash, I think you're struggling with signal as well because of the fact that the weather outside has decided to turn insane on both of us. So we're actually just seeing a blank screen. However, I'm going to keep talking on your behalf to keep the audience engaged. because you're the one with all the information. I'm just here to, I'm just a part of conveying the information to the audience. Ashish, I think, has been struggling with signal. And I think for all of you who are watching, you pretty much know what the weather outside is. So you have to just bear with us. He will join me back again. And there are a few more questions because I think everybody is curious. What is okay? I think we have Ashish back. Sorry, everybody, we didn't anticipate these issues with signal, but we are going through them. It's amazing weather though. So let's see the bright side of it. It's okay. It's fine. We're here. We
Great
can
weather,
have
exactly. We're in
absolutely.
May. Listen, we're in May. We can't complain.
Absolutely. So I think it was the universe that conspired to make sure that they clean up the environment and we come back with a passion and a vengeance to party together. And Ashish, I do think that I want you to leave because people are there's a lot of people, some people like you and me will remain optimistic and positive forever because that's in our nature, it's our inherent nature. But there's a lot of people who are, disheartened with what is going on because they just don't understand. I want you to leave them with a positive message that things may not be as they were, but they will be better with a different perspective. So do leave them with an important message to all of them what lies ahead.
Listen, my submission is that employees in a restaurant that thrive on seeing people smile and enjoy guest experience are at home. It's really difficult because a lot of their pay is variable. A lot of it is through tips, a lot of it is through service charge, which is not there during this time, even if fixed salaries are there. So my simple request will be support these lovely people, come back to their favorite places, not just mine, but
We are still here, and Ashish is coming back on the show, guys. I want to tell you something that I'm with my favorite guest today. He's one of my most favorite people. I am what I am because of his faith in me, because of him saying that I'm capable of endorsing the kind of brands that Ashish supports and Ashish promotes and Ashish makes. So it's disheartening that the weather is not cooperating with this conversation because I was very keen for him to create a certain positivity between all of us, the people who are dying to go out there and, have a different life. Ashish, we were in the middle of your message and we have been able to come back before the weather kills us again. I want you to give them one quick message and then we're going to wind up and not hassle them anymore because we do have a lot of audience that's watching. Hi, Sonal, thanks for watching. Let them hear something nice from you before we call it a day.
listen, guys, we have employees who just love serving you, who know your favorite dishes, who know your favorite drinks. These guys are at home, they don't have service charge, they don't have tips, which is a large component of their pay packages. They are more concerned than the people tuned in into the show. So do support them once they get back to work. So my humble submission will be go back, be cautious, but don't be paranoid. And at the end of the day, we are social people. We need each other to thrive. So be rest assured, the restaurants are going to take utmost care that you're looked after. We'll have your favorite drink waiting for you. We'll have your favorite food ready when you show up. But turn up and just be ready to have a good time. Be safe, but come back.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ashish, for that. And thank you for bearing up with all the signal issues that we're going through, because we're literally like a kilometer away from each other, even in location. So we're going through the same electrical issues. But thank you all for watching, and leaving you with the fact that Ashish and all the people in that business will be back and with a new normal, which we all are going to enjoy. And that's our hashtag now, right? We are all going to be different, but it's going to be more fun because our attitudes, our perspectives would have changed, and we're going to enjoy every bit of it. For right now, go out there, enjoy the weather, get yourself a glass of wine. Ashish, what's the wine for tonight?
Listen, right now I think it's great weather for anything white. A crisp white, great acidity, floral, anything works. Don't be picky. Pick a nice wine
Wonderful.
and
So we
drink.
we also have we also have Saurabh that's joined us, and Saurabh also runs a restaurant chain of his own, which is Kylan. And Saurabh will also join us. Maybe I'm going to get Ashish and Saurabh together to have a little debate on what their perspectives are.
He's
Saurabh,
doing
thanks
some
for watching.
fabulous sauces. I think everyone should order
Yes,
some Kylan sauces and fabulous things.
yes, absolutely. Thanks, Saurabh, for joining us. And Ashish, thanks. And we're all going to get that wine now and enjoy the weather. And thank you very much, all of you. And Ashish, see you soon.
Thank you,
Big
Shaz. Thank you for your
signing
positivity. Thank you for
off.
doing this. Thank you.